There's an app for hailing a cab, but experts say it's actually slowing New Yorkers down. On average, you can hail a cab 12 minutes faster the old-fashioned way, just by flagging one down. Well, here's a simple math problem for you. The Willis Tower in Chicago stands 1,451 feet tall. Here in downtown Manhattan, the Freedom Tower is 1,368 feet. So, which is taller? Well, the answer may seem simple. The Tall Buildings Council says it isn't. Experts are still deciding whether or not to include the 400-foot spire in the final measurement next month. Experts say the city is facing the worst homelessness epidemic it's seen in decades. While begging is okay above ground, in the subway, all panhandling is illegal. Passengers say they feel threatened by the growing homeless population living under New York City's streets. New Yorkers have pedaled nearly 7 million miles using city bikes, but studies show the credit card payment system has riders in low-income neighborhoods backpedaling on the rental. Brewing on the Upper East Side is a tea revolution. Religious tea drinker Helene Polanski thinks Teavana is exactly what her neighborhood needs.
Absolutely. I think people need an alternative.
Teavana attracts a New Yorker opting for herbal teas over caffeinated lattes.
Tea makes me feel better. If I drink tea, I don't feel as I don't have the highs and lows that I would have when I drink coffee.
Nestled on Madison Avenue near 86th Street is the first franchise to hit New York. CEO Howard Schultz says the coffee giant Starbucks snatched up Teavana to expose more Americans to the tea experience. Teavana General Manager Beverly Vellis says the cafe is piquing people's interest.
Walking into a Starbucks, you do get that smell of coffee when you walk in and stuff. Coming into a Teavana and working here, when you walk in, you get a sense of more calm because the fragrances are a little more muted and they're more floral scented and fruity scented.
While these baristas aren't steaming coffee drinks, they are revolutionizing the way tea is made. This beacon machine uses a process called atmospheric infusion that brews tea in just 90 seconds.
They actually love it. I mean, it's definitely it's their new concept, so they love to see everything that's new, and they'll come in and they'll partake in our beverages and food.
Recent studies have shown that U.S. interest in tea has grown. But are New Yorkers ready to ditch their cup of joe?
There's a strong group of tea drinkers in this world.
I love coffee, but I prefer tea.
I think it's going to be the Starbucks version for coffee. This will be the tea version.
On the Upper East Side, I'm Kelly Baumgarten. Billy is more than just Christina's horse. She says he's a key part of New York City's tourism industry.
I have the coolest job in the world.
At 10 years old, he's one of 200 horses to tow a carriage around Central Park, giving rides to tourists who come from all over the globe. Christina says under her care, Billy has a pretty cushy job. He doesn't work for more than 8 hours a day, and every year, Billy escapes the concrete jungle and spends 5 weeks vacationing on a farm.
I chose this job because I love horses. I wouldn't do it if there was anything wrong with what we're doing with the horses.
New York Class, an animal rights organization against the carriage industry, says Manhattan is no place for a horse. In the past 2 years, 20 horses have been involved in traffic accidents near Central Park.
When a horse gets freaked out, they tend to just bolt down city streets, and then they can run into cars, buses, trucks.
Both mayoral candidates, Bill de Blasio and Joe Lhota, say they'd rather cars than carriages. They believe that replacing carriages with electric antique replica cars would keep drivers employed and animals out of harm's way.
Like a Great Gatsby old-timey car that the drivers would simply drive instead of pulling around a poor horse in the streets.
If these horses do retire, experts say it could cost up to $500,000 a year to care for just one horse. So there's a possibility these horses could be sent to slaughter.
You can't ban something just because you don't like it. There's absolutely no evidence that our horses are anything but healthy and happy.
In the meantime, a horse and buggy ride through Central Park continues to be an iconic New York tradition. In Central Park, I'm Kelly Baumgarten.